What is up, guys? Welcome back to another round of this classic championship. We are here in Hungary for the second to last video in this championship. We are not doing too bad. We're just ahead of Leclerc in the championship. We should win this race considering it's basically a high downforce circuit, but we're going to get off to a better start than our teammate Alex Lynn, although he looks like he might come back at us, as we got Antonio Giovinazzi just flying down our outside, and also we got Schumacher down our inside. So we're going to have to go into turn one very aggressive with Giovinazzi. We've got Gasly, who is just ahead of him. We've got Lynn to our left. We're going to have to squeeze him out just a little bit, as we can't afford to lose too much ground. We're going to dive down the inside, very, very aggressive on Giovinazzi. We can't afford to let Leclerc get a lot of points now. He's already passed Gasly, and I'm not sure if Gasly's actually going to get back past him, just because of the pace of that Ferrari. It's absolutely disgusting. But Leclerc gets off to an average start, I'd say. But obviously down to turn one, the pace of that Ferrari just absolutely blitzes Gasly, and we obviously just stroll down the inside of Giovinazzi. But Giovinazzi does do a solid job. I think it was a bit too aggressive coming into turn two, but you know, we want to win this championship. We're not here to just mess around and maybe get second or third in the championship. We're here to win, and I didn't get a penalty or warning or any damage for that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not the end of the world. But coming on to lap 2, we have got a McLaren Mercedes MP3. Now this is very odd. We don't often see this, but yeah, like there's not a lot of, we don't show this quite often. The two McLarens actually fighting, actually farther up the grid. One of them was Jensen Button, I think the other was Sam Bird. They're actually fighting pretty well. But here is Sean Galeo, who is in pursuit of another McLaren MP323. So Galeo is really, really far down the order there, which is not surprising. He had one good race, I believe that was in Malaysia. Apart from that, he hasn't had a good job at all. But another car we don't really see a lot of is the R26 of Giancarlo Fisichella, who is going to be overtaken by, I believe that is Rubens Barrichello. So the R26 has had an awful championship. I don't think it's going to improve very much. It's a nice looking car, but it's just got no pace whatsoever. We're moving on to this penultimate lap. We're going to dive an absolute sacrilege down past Pierre Gasly to take that second place, just in case we can't catch Charles Leclerc. I don't think it's possible, and sure enough we don't. So Charles Leclerc is going to win his third race of the season. He's going to be level with us on wins. He's going to be just behind us in the points on the championship, but Leclerc does win, and we are going to come across the line. You can see we just had no pace. We just didn't have it. I don't know why. Whether it was because we had a wet qualifying and I just didn't really have a feel for the track in one lap, but fair play to Charles Leclerc. He absolutely smashed it. Again, we just didn't have the pace. It was very similar to another race this season. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we just couldn't compete. But yeah, Charles Leclerc gets his third win of the championship. The drivers and constructors obviously close up a little bit more. I think I said in the last video, Ferrari look a lot stronger towards the end of the season, especially with Belgium being the next race we do. There's only 4 points between us, so that's the difference between a first and a second place, which would take Leclerc to the top of the championship just because of countback on wins. But same points on constructors. That's 2 races in a row we've had the same amount of points. But we're at Belgium, and this is qualifying, and just look how disgustingly fast that Ferrari is in a straight line. I have no hope of winning this race at all. He's just gone. He's just absolutely flown. And you can see this in qualifying, because we're down in P7 behind all the main Ferraris, I'd say. All the quick ones with the V10s. Yeah, V10s. I'm pretty sure the F2002s only have V10s as well. But we've got a teammate going down our inside. We're not going to have that. We have to get our butt into gear. We managed to move our way up just behind Giovinazzi. We've got Schumacher behind us. We look like we're about to catch Giovinazzi, but then the engine kicks in and he's just going to fly off. We've got Schumacher looking to come down our inside at Eau Rouge. We get stuck on his car just a little bit, but Leclerc's already a postcode ahead, so we're not going to see Leclerc for the rest of the race. Hopefully we can see Giovinazzi in the next few corners, but here comes Schumacher. He's going to go around our outside. Again, it gets stuck on our side pod. That's twice in not even half a lap that's happened, so that's not good for us. But Giovinazzi not too far ahead. We're going to have to see how we can do against him, but you can see just a sea of red cars. You've got the 6 Ferraris at the front. I'd say the 4 Red Bulls, but Galeo again so far at the back. And it's a mix of silver and red between the McLarens and the Ferrari. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we can do against this. Again, we'll get a better angle at Schumacher and see how close we actually was to putting him in the barrier at Eau Rouge. He does move to our right hand side very late, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how bad we struggle, because I don't see us making many gains on the Ferraris. In this section, probably a lot more. As you can see, we're catching up to Giovinazzi hand over fist, and we're going to take full advantage of him going slow through these corners. He's not the fastest F2004 driver, but it's not the end of the world. We've got Schumacher, who's going very slow. We're going to go past him. He was actually behind us, but when I paused the game, I stopped recording, didn't start recording, blah, blah, blah. But that was an outrageous overtake. We was literally on the limit, and then he goes back past us again. So does Giovinazzi. But we're going to fight Schumacher for second place, because that's what we need to do to try and get past him and hopefully catch up to Charles Leclerc. So again, we are under pressure from Mick Schumacher, who just will not leave us alone. Giovinazzi fancies another attempt, but it's not going to work as he goes past us. We're going to go side by side again with Mick Schumacher through this section of the track, and we're not going to let up. But it's just an absolute joke how often they can get past, and again, it's just awful. Again, not even halfway down the back straight, and they're both going to fly past us. So we got to fight. We're not going to get Schumacher in the same position we did last time. We're going to go past Giovinazzi. So we've got Schumacher, who is our prime target. If we want to get back to that P2 and maintain level on points in this championship, we're going to go around the outside, unorthodoxly, past Mick Schumacher, and we're going to fight him as hard as we can. And we go side by side all the way through this section, and probably all the way through to the big long sweeping left hand. We're going to push him onto the grass a little bit. We've got our elbows out completely in this RB6. We are not letting up for 1 second. We are not letting these Ferraris beat us, as we got all four of them just absolutely flying down the back straight towards us. But there is the man of the hour. Charles Leclerc has won back-to-back victories and taken his 4th win in this championship, which would mean we're level on points, which is awesome, which is what we want to be. We've got Mick Schumacher again having a go. He's going to push us onto the grass, but there goes a bit of our carbon fibre wing flying across the track. But he's going to put us on equal points, but down to count back, he's actually going to... we actually came... Yeah, we came second. Okay, that looked very close. I was just second guessing myself then, making sure everything was done correctly. But he's going to put us into count back, which would mean he would win. If the championship ended this race, he would win based off of wins. But we've still got 2 more rounds. One I'm not confident with, which is Italy, because this is basically just a smaller Monza. And Japan. Japan could work either way. We'll have to see. But Ferrari are smashing the constructors. Let's see what happens in Italy. Until then, bye-bye.